Welcome back, and today we're gonna be talking about ID Invaded episode 11, and we finally learned the identity of John Walker. So, like always, let's just jump into it. So this episode, we see why Fukada, the perforator killer, why he's doing everything that he's doing. Why did he trick Sakaido and all that? He has arithmomania, which pretty much I looked it up because I didn't know what it was. He can't help but count everything that he sees. Like that's why when he was in the sand, like in the desert, with Sakaido was inside the cockpit of the machine that lets him go into the wells, he was counting the sand because he just cannot help himself. So John Walker knew this, right? John Walker knew this was going to happen. So when he got caught, John Walker knew that Sakaido and Fukada, whenever they were going to be in the same well, Fukada, to get away from that arithmomania, to like get rid of that, impulse to count everything, was gonna trick Sakaido into killing him. And now, thanks to Sakaido being so smart and being the, great detective, he was able to infer all that, and that's why he did not go along with killing Fukada. Now, another great thing that we learned about Fukada, which I find it kind of amusing, was that I think Fukada was the only one that did not kill Kaeru, or what's her name, Asukai. Whenever he went into her dreams, he didn't sleep a lot because his OCD, or his mental disorder, the arithmomania thing, did not allow him to sleep that much. That's why he drilled the hole in his head. He was trying to kill himself, I guess, in order to get rid of that, sense of having to count everything. He could not live with it. He was going crazy, I'm guessing. That's why he drilled that hole into his head. And it gives us a backstory to a character that started off as a villain, but this same character also was able to help Honda Moshi figure out who John Walker is. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say that I really wasn't that surprised to, who it was. I think we got a little couple hints here and there that kind of led us to believe who he was. And John Walker is the chief of police, the guy that's always, has the little weird smile. Just by looking at him, you kind of know that, that character is not, it's not all there. He's got something to hide from that smile that he's always given. But we find out who he is, and we also find out that, the way he gets the killers is he brings them into Asukai's dreams and has the serial killers kill Asukai over and over and over up until they actually go and start killing in the real world. That's the way he's making killers. But on top of that, he also planned it to where all the serial killers never kill more than 7 people, and they all die. They all receive the killing blow one day of the week, like a different day of the week, up to 7, right? Like 7 days of the week, 7 deaths, 7, all that, which Honda Moshi made up. She actually was able to figure out that, I guess, the reason he was doing that is like the god, being a god, how he created, life and earth and all that in 7 days. So I guess John Walker has that god complex where he's trying to, I guess, recreate another world, or for whatever reason. I'm sure we're gonna find out why he's doing all that. But Honda Moshi, I always thought that plot twist was gonna be that Honda Moshi was like, with John Walker or something like that. Now I'm starting to think I was completely wrong. Like, I'm actually starting to think that Honda Moshi is just another great detective like Sakaido. Really the only one that's been able to, be on par with Sakaido, being able to figure out everything that needs to be figured out, unlike Fukuda. Fukuda, even though he's great and he's smart and he probably has photographic memory and all that, he's not a great detective like Sakaido and Honda Moshi. Whenever they were put into the well, he would die a lot. He would not, and probably now we know why he was dying a lot. And he was probably not even trying, because whenever he goes into the well, he loses that hole that's inside his head, and his arithmomania comes back, and he really wants to get rid of that. So that's why he always kept dying over and over. That could be the reason why. Which, this is one of the reasons why I love this anime, because it always brings back, it always explains why certain characters do what they do. Now, we did get another plot twist in this episode, which I found kind of cool. It kind of tied everything together to prove who John Walker is, the chief of police. The reason why was whenever they went into Sakaido's, I mean not Sakaido's, whenever they went into Momoki's home, right, to get the particles that they needed to go into well, the chief actually went and stole one of the pictures inside Sakaido's cell. And now since Sakaido has been, you know, forcing people or convincing people to commit suicide, that's still kind of considered murder, right? Because he's the one that drove those people to kill themselves. So that's considered murder. He had murder intent when he did all that. So he was able to steal a picture, right, from the cell, which will have, you know, Sakaido's particles, and put it into Momoki's room. And that's how he was able to trick, you know, everybody in the police and that's doing this whole ID well project into going into Sakaido like another well, like another version of Sakaido's well. So they were never really inside Momoki's well. Now, that brings up an interesting point, right? Because how come Momoki knows this was a trap? Like, why would he know this? Because honestly, that's the one plot twist that got me by surprise. Not the fact that the chief was, you know, John Walker. Like, I kind of saw that coming. But the fact that they were able to get the picture, you know, and do all that to create this elaborate plan that John Walker created, that's what got me interesting, because how did Momoki know that this was all set up and that this was all a trap to get into the ID well within an ID well? So I'm guessing there's more about Momoki. Maybe he knows more than we all think we know. Like maybe he's involved in some way, and that's why he got framed. But I feel like we have not heard the last bit of Momoki's story. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be something there, and you know, we only have 2 episodes left. So I think these last 2 episodes, a lot of big things are gonna happen, because I don't think just the chief being John Walker is gonna be enough. I think there's gonna be another plot twist bigger than that, and I think everybody's gonna enjoy it. I can't wait. I mean, I've been loving this anime, and every episode it gets better. It always gets better. So Handamoshi figuring all this out. I like the fact that as soon as they were extracted, right, they were extracted from the ID well, right? As soon as they were able to do that, because while they were in there and the whole storm was going on, they couldn't do anything. Not disconnecting the machine, the cockpit, that didn't work. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't figure out where they were at or anything. So they were pretty much like locked and had privacy in there. They were not being monitored. And that's when Sakaido made the point of saying that whenever they can't see what they're doing, time slows down inside the ID well. That's why he was able to stay in there for like a year, when really it was only 10 minutes. So whenever they can be monitored in there, I guess they get extra time to figure stuff out. But once they figure everything out and they actually were able to get extracted from it, oh, I love how Handamoshi was like straight to business. Okay, straight to business. She was like, yo, John Walker is the chief. I can't remember his name, but it's the chief. That's who he is. She went straight to business. And I also like how the one that's acting like the, you know, like the main controlling everything within the ID well, how she was able to figure out that the picture that was inside Momoki's room was not really supposed to be there. And the only reason why she would know that is because she's been going to Momoki's room to have a little fun at night or whatever, you know what I mean? But that's why she was able to figure that out. So I like how every clue that we get, everything that we get in this anime is actually tied to something. We know why it happened. There's not like, you know, like plot holes or anything, at least not that I can think of. Everything makes sense. Now, it so happens that the chief, and this is why I think there's going to be bigger plot twists, right? Whenever the chief was found out to be John Walker, he was ready. He has a plan. Okay, he has a plan. To me, it seemed like he was not worried. To me, it seems like this is part of the plan. Okay. Now I'm wondering, right? I'm wondering how many people are inside the you know, in the ID well team. Like if you were to include all the detectives that are in there, I wonder if it all includes like 7 people. Because I wonder, right, if he's gonna use Asukai, because he was the one that kidnapped Asukai as well. Okay, he's the one that got her out of the hospital, and he's been holding her hostage inside like another like cockpit room or something. Like he was close by. So I wonder if he's gonna do something with Asukai, maybe like make her project like all that thoughts and everything into everybody, and maybe use that to kill them or something. And that'll be like 7 people that die at the same time. I don't know, but that man has got a plan. He's not going away without a fight. He's got something, you know, up in his sleeves. 100%. 2 episodes left. I think they're gonna be huge episodes. I hope we get a season 2, but if we don't, I hope this season ends with like a nice, good ending, like a nice closure. Not wondering, not like a cliffhanger. I don't want to see a cliffhanger. Now, if we get a cliffhanger, definitely bring a season 2, or bring a season 2 regardless, because this anime is an anime original, no manga, no anything, and I'm loving it. It's great. But like always, let me know what you thought of this episode. Go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode.